Hey guys, it's me, and I just washed my hair and I cut a little bit off the end, about like, not much, about like that much, so I don't know, an inch, maybe 2 inches. It was just getting kind of not very even and a little bit, split endish, doing all this thing. So I cut a little bit off. Eventually we're going to get rid of this red and we're going to go with like a midnight blue. Why not? Okay, so it's Mask Monday. Get out your masks. Ready up, cause here we go. Alright, once again, I am using the Pharmacy Honey Potion. Let's put this on. This is a warming mask. You only put it on for like 10 minutes and then you rinse it off. I'm going to use my little thing here. It's like we're getting in there pretty deep, but it's it's a little thick, so it's not like it runs down the sides, but this should pretty much take care of it. It is sticky like honey, so try and be careful not to get it all over the freaking place. Oh yeah, you can feel that warmth. You can feel it. Woo! So yeah, I'm just using this a couple of times a week. I'm using it until it's all used up. I don't have my towel on. I probably should have done this before I took my towel off. I'm still drying my hair. I'm just kind of, it's towel dried. It's just, at the point where it can kind of air dry the rest of the way. Oh yeah, that was totally enough. Try and get more on this blemish on my nose here. Besides being just really super moisturizing, honey is an excellent antioxidant. I also, doing a little bit of research, I'm pouring the antioxidants into my skin right now. I am like at war with whatever this thing is that's going on my face, okay? and I'm starting to see some actual differences, so that makes me really happy. But I had saw a review on using sulfur soap, which I'm quite familiar with sulfur. We used to use a sulfur product called MPG on our horses to keep their skin nice, and yes, it stinks like sulfur, but it did its job. So I may invest in, actually what I need to do is go to Sephora, because I don't have to pay shipping there. I need to go to Sephora and see if they have any kind of sulfur soap. You would think they would, but maybe not. They only sell the things that the big famous brand stuff, so they might not have anything like that there. Anyways, so let's see, today is the 28th. Wednesday is my birthday. I'm gonna be, what year is it? Yeah, I'm that old. I'm gonna be 64 in like 2 days. Oh, Lord of mercy. this is how it happens. There is no, like, middle age, okay? Or maybe I'm doing middle age and I just don't know it. But it seems like you're young, you're not quite as young, but you're still looking good. And then all of a sudden, you a wrinkled old bag, okay? Like, boom, yeah, overnight. What the hell happened, you know? Yeah. And you forget until you look in the mirror, and then you look in the mirror and you're like, oh my God, is that really what I look like now? But when you're, when you're not looking in the mirror, you forget that you don't look like you did 10, 15 years ago, and then sometimes when people treat you differently, like you're old, you're kind of like, who the fuck you treat? No, what the? I'm sorry. I'm trying really hard not to drop F-bombs, but, you'd be like, what, who you talking to? What? Who you talking to like that? What? Seriously, this is what it is. This is how it works. This is how it works. I will never forget the first time I was at TJ Maxx. I was with my assistant manager. We were like doing some specific shopping, and when I went to the register, the girl said to me, blah, 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 blah. And would you like a senior discount? I was like, senior discount? This is my first time anybody's asked me if I wanted a senior discount. And the girl was mortified. Some young pup. And she was just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I said, don't worry, honey. It'll happen to you too. I said, but you know what? If I got to get old, I'm using it for all it's worth. Hell yes, give me that discount. And any other discount you can wrangle up in there. She laughed. She was like, oh yes, ma'am. But, and that's how I feel about it. Is if I got to get old, I'm going to take advantage of every benefit that comes with that. Give me that. Yes, give me that senior discount. I'll take it, by golly. So, there's that. Wow, I forgot to look at what time it was. So, I figure 2 minutes has gone by. Okay. Anyways, Halloween. So if my birthday is on Wednesday, then Halloween is on Thursday. How are you feeling about Halloween? Like when I was a kid, everybody did Halloween. If you didn't do Halloween, you was a freak. You belonged to one of them freak churches. That it's, you was a freak. Yeah. And then I got older and I did a little bit of research and I learned a little bit more about Halloween and how Americans have pretty much destroyed it and turned it into this, scary, demonic, whatever thing, the headless horseman and all that. That is not what Halloween is supposed to be about. We're the ones that did that. We're the ones that turned in. Yes, it is a pagan holiday. It's not. There's nothing Christian about it. But you know what? If it was satanic, it would have to be something Christian about it because pagans don't believe in Satan. So how can it be satanic? Okay, you understand my logic here? So I did a little bit, and this is what I came up with. It's originally an Irish holiday. It's very similar to, oh gosh, I can't remember the name of it. The holiday that is Latino, where, they have like the skulls with the roses. I can't remember. I'm such a doofus. I don't write nothing down. I'm just coming on here talking out of my ears, Anyways, it's very similar to that. It is a holiday whereby you know, back in the old days, and I don't know, in Ireland, who knows, the people that are, you know, still living out in the countryside might not have cameras and so forth, but you honored your ancestors that were gone, you know. And I mean, you know, now you can take a picture of your grandma, and when she's gone, you have a picture of your grandparents or, you know, whoever over the fireplace. Well, you know, they couldn't do that before there was cameras. And a lot of people still don't have access to cameras. And that's what Halloween was. It was All Hallows Eve. Hallows, I have to look that up. Hallows has something to do with, like, death, but it's not like Satan, you know. It's just, it's the day that your loved ones that are gone, not necessarily come back and visit you, but maybe like peek and see how you're doing. And the sad ones are the ones that passed away and don't have anybody that cared about them. You know, those are the ones that have the sadness. The food thing, there was no trick or treat. Okay, that's strictly us. Okay, that's Satan and trick or treat. That's strictly us. Here's the food thing. It's like, this is the day that you made grandma's cookies, okay? You make the food that your ancestors liked or prepared, or, you know, whatever. So it's kind of like, okay, it's kind of like, and it, you know, the 31st, the date, really not a lot to do with it, but it's kind of like if your grandma's passed, and say you and your mom get together and you're going to use grandma's cookie recipe, you're kind of celebrating Halloween, okay? That's what it was originally intended. It had nothing to do with God, nothing to do with Satan. Nothing. It's a celebration of appreciating your ancestors that are gone. And on this day, they can sort of like peek in on you and see that, you know, you are doing things to appreciate them. It makes them, you know, I don't put this into words very good. I truly don't. But it makes them so that they are happy and comfortable and comforted that, you know, that you remember them. Okay, that's what that was about. Okay, there was no, like, the dressing up had to do with death, but it didn't have to do with, like, Satan. And I think that's something that we, as a nation, and even as Christians, kind of mix up a little bit, that, you know, Satan equals death. I'm sorry, everybody's gonna die, okay? And while Satan might have been a part of that cause to begin with, just because you die doesn't mean that it's a Satan thing. You know, death is not necessarily, death is how we get to Jesus. So it's not necessarily a horrible thing. You know, I'm not saying death is a good thing and everybody should try it, but you're going to eventually, okay? But it's not the catastrophic thing that we tend to think that it is and thereby associate with Satan. It's, you know, so I mean, it's kind of like a big funeral for not just one person that's passed, but for everybody. You know, the flowers, the makeup, I don't think anybody actually dressed up as a ghost. maybe there was some skull type of things going on. There might even have been some real, like, morbid stuff, that totally morbid to us, where maybe they had skeletons of loved ones. I don't know. I'm guessing on that one. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where the whole skeleton thing even came from. That's strictly a guess. But I do know that the food was about, it was, you know, comfort food for the living and the dead, to show them that we're still using their ways and appreciating them and what they had done for us, and, you know, that they existed, that we might, you know, I mean, if they didn't exist, we wouldn't either, right? So that was what All Hallows Eve was originally. And then you get Americans into the mix, okay? Like, first off, Americans tend to do this. They grab onto something without much knowledge about it, make up their own story, and turn it into something that wasn't even close to what it was to begin with. You know, that's kind of what we do. And that's what we did with Halloween. So the whole trick-or-treating, no. The dressing up, Frankenstein, that kind, no. You dressed up as, you know, like something that would honor maybe your grandma. I don't know. Maybe your grandma really had like a mouse. No, that doesn't make it. I don't know. She had something, okay? Make up something. She had something that she really, you know, thought a lot, it meant a lot to her. That's the thing that you dressed up as. Or you dressed up as grandma. But a lot of people dressed up as things that revolved around or represented that person's life when they were alive. That's the whole dressing up thing. Okay? It's nothing to do with, nobody dressed up as the Grim Reaper. They didn't just, you know, no. And, you know, when the Irish came over here, a lot of them were really looked down upon, you know, they were just a bunch of drunks. So when they had, you know, something like this going on, people didn't take away with anything other than, you know, I mean, they didn't learn about it. They just saw what was on the surface, added their own BS, and went with it. So anyways, you know, do you belong to one of those churches, or, you know, that says no to Halloween? And if you do, I'm really curious. If you don't do Halloween, how do you feel about Christmas? Okay, just curiosity there. I think we can take this thing off now. Let's take it off. Yeah, it's some stickiness. This, thank you, Beth, for, you know, purchasing those and sending them out to the ninjas. I use mine every time I mask up because it makes it so that I can actually, you know, talk, because I never stop. Oh, have mercy. And anyways, so well, we did the little clown collab, but that's not necessarily like a scary. You can do any clown in that collab. It doesn't necessarily have to be scary. Just kind of I do like an angry clown. It is a little, you know, it is a little bit scary, but it's not demonic scary, you know. And I'll tell you what, sometimes clowns are just scary anyways. That's pretty much the only thing that I Halloween on. Oh, I do have hanging over in my makeup area, you know, I have the spider web with the big pink spider on it. Ooh, scary. I don't think that God is gonna I really don't think God is, and you know, I'm sorry, God. Yes, I put the spider web up, but you know what? God puts up lots of spider webs and spiders. They might not be pink, but we have golden orb spiders down here, and their webs are absolutely beautiful. They're called banana spiders because they're actually not indigenous. They came over on banana boats. Their webs, the reason it's called a golden orb, when the sun shines on its web, it is just golden. It's like one of the best duochromes you ever saw, only it's a spider web. Go figure. Go figure. Alright guys, I'm feeling pretty refreshed. How are you doing? Tell me about your Halloween, and until the next time, I hope you wake up dancing, wake up dancing, boom boom, wake up dancing every single day. Bye bye.